was true for me and my fiancé, Dale. I first met him in a restaurant. I was there with my cousins, and he was there with his friends. We got talking in the cocktail lounge, and as I sipped on my strawberry mojito, I felt sparks fly between us. He's the silent and brooding type, while I don't like to sit for long, and I'm very chatty. Regardless of our differences, I could see that Dale had a good heart, and he was kind and caring. I've had so many terrible boyfriends, and I'm done with that. I wanted to find a guy who'd treat me like a queen. I hit the jackpot with Dale. I love marine animals, so for our first proper date, he took me to an aquarium and bought me this cute seal cuddly toy. Another time I was sick, so he turned up at my door with homemade broth, medicine, and my favorite scented candle. Dale is the kindest, sweetest man ever, but people judge us when they see us out together. You see, he's 58 and I'm 26. To me, age doesn't matter. It's the connection that counts. On a few occasions when we've been out, people have mistaken us for father and daughter. We were in a restaurant once and Dale asked the waiter for a glass of wine for the lovely lady. The waiter replied with, "Aw, it's so nice to see a father spoil his daughter." It was so embarrassing, especially when a blushing Dale corrected him and said I was his girlfriend. I don't know who was more embarrassed, me, Dale, or the waiter. People can be really cruel and say some horrible things. I used to worry about cuddling up to Dale on a bench in the park or holding his hand in the street, as we'd had people laugh at us, shout, "Yuck!" And one woman even took a picture of us kissing. Like, was she gonna stick it on her fridge or something? I don't let them get to me anymore. So what if Dale's older than me? We love each other. When I told my friend how old Dale was, she called me a gold digger. This hurt, as we'd been friends since we were little kids. She knew I wasn't money-oriented. Besides, Dale had a good job, but he wasn't rich or anything. If anything, I think I earned more than him. Dale's parents weren't alive anymore, and the few family members he had left were lovely toward me. I also met Dale's friends, and they weren't bothered about our age gap either. Unfortunately, my parents completely freaked out when they found out that Dale was older than they were. I asked them to give him a chance. They reluctantly agreed and let me bring him around for dinner. My parents were nice enough to his face, well, for like the first 20 minutes. Then Mom asked Dale if he had a good insurance plan, as our age gap may not seem a big deal right now, but in 20 years' time, he couldn't expect me to be his carer. I was mortified, and so was Dale. He had no idea how to respond, so I snapped at Mom that she was being ridiculous. Cue a massive row. Mom burst into tears, and Dad asked us to leave. Later on, my little sister texted me. She wasn't checking we were okay. No. Instead, she asked me why I was sleeping with a granddad. I texted her back saying that love didn't have age barriers. She told me that she hoped I dumped him soon, as if her friends found out I was with an old man, they'd think I'd gone insane. I didn't talk to my parents or sister for months after that. Eventually, they all learned to accept my choice to be with Dale, although my sister always eye rolls behind his back. Our love overcame all the negative and cruel comments. Dale asked me to marry him, and I excitedly said yes. One day, I was talking about kids' names I liked when he went quiet. I asked him what was wrong, and he confessed that there was something he needed to tell me. He said that his previous wife had been adamant she didn't want kids, and she'd convinced him that he didn't want any either. Because of this, he ended up getting a vasectomy. I was devastated. I loved kids, and I longed to have my own with him. He told me that he now realized he did want kids. He just hadn't wanted them with his ex-wife. Dale has a friend who is a doctor, so we went to see her and explained our issue to her. She said that a vasectomy could be reversed, but because he'd had it done over 20 years ago, there was less than a 10% chance that it would work. I remained hopeful, as what else was there to do? I loved him, and I had to believe that we could have our own family. Then we found out the devastating news. The procedure hadn't worked, so Dale would never give me children. I wanted to stay strong, but on the inside, I feel broken. I just can't imagine my life without kids in it. Dale is supportive. He says that we'll do whatever it takes, even if that means expensive fertility treatments. But I don't want to spend all of our savings on something that might not even work. I told Dale we didn't need to have kids as we had each other. I threw myself into wedding planning to try and fill the void I felt. I cried when I tried my dream wedding dress on, not because I didn't like the dress. I loved it. It was my perfect princess dress. I just felt so distraught that I wouldn't have any fairy tale ending with a family of my own. The problem is I can't stop thinking about what I'd be like as a mommy. I see parents at the park with their little kids, and I want to feel what they feel. I want that so badly. I can't go on like this. I keep having the same nightmare where I'm in my 60s, both Dale and my parents are dead, and it's just me all by myself in a big empty house. And all I can hear are the echoes of my own lonely sobs. I don't care that Dale is so much older than me, but I do care about never being a mom. I love Dale with all my heart, but he can't give me a child, and I know that if I don't have one, then I'll regret it. I don't know what to do. Should I put aside my longing to have children for the man I love? Should I choose a sperm donor? Should we adopt? I'm so confused